Helen here with Eyes on the Game. I'm here at the UFC Performance Institute being joined by Kelvin Gastelum. Now, first off, I do know you have that big title fight coming up, UFC 234 in Australia. But before I get to talk to you about that fight, the reason you are here in Las Vegas, the Ultimate Fighter 28 finale, is going down tonight. Can I kind of get your thoughts on how this season went for you?
It was a lot of work put in by my coaching staff. It's a lot of fun. It's cool getting to know the guys, but at the end of the day, it's work, and we put in a lot of that, and that's just really what we can tell you. The fighters put in a lot of work, and really they made it an easy job for me because they worked so hard in that season, and it was cool to watch them grow during the season, and I was just there to help them the way that I was helped at one point, So I think we accomplished that, and I think they were able to grow. They were able to learn about themselves as fighters and as persons. So that was the ultimate goal.
And how much could you use that experience from being on The Ultimate Fighter, like you said, to now, being the coach?
Yeah. Well, I had already had the experience of coaching the Tough Latin American Season 2, and so I feel like we did a lot of things better on this season that we tightened up just from the experience of coaching the Latin American season. We just made everything better, and it really showed off. It really proved in training. It really proved in the fights, and it really proved in the bonding of the team that we had. I just felt like it was a great camaraderie that we had. So I think as coaches, we put in a lot of work, and it paid off.
Now, how was it kind of, being in the same house or being around Robert Whittaker, who you do fight in a few months? Was there some tension?
Yes and no. Me and Robert kind of kept we dealt with each other's presence, but we kind of didn't really interact. We could be sitting down like you and I are, and we wouldn't say a word to each other. We'd just deal with it. We'd be cordial. We'd say hello. We'd say goodbye, but that's it. We didn't want to deal with each other, and we didn't want to do anything together more than we had to.
Yeah. Now, can you kind of talk about, the big fight coming up? Because last time you and I spoke back in July, it was right before it got announced. So how relieved were you, first off, to hear that you got that title shot?
Yeah, well, you never really know. It's never really for sure until it's for sure, and, obviously I had been promised the title shot, but then, I was nervous, that big MSG card was coming up with all those middleweights, and I was going to say, man, they better not try and pull anything, Weidman, he might step in line, who knows, I hope they don't try and pull anything like that, but they didn't, they kept their word, and I was happy with once they announced it, and I got emotional once I got the contract. I saw it, and I was like, okay, it's on paper. It's official, and this feels real now, and it felt great. It was a great feeling.
And what about to get the title shot in the middleweight division? I mean, what were your thoughts? Because initially you fought at welterweight for a while, too.
Yeah, for a little while, but I did start my career as a middleweight. But my focus was to stay at middleweight and get the title, at welterweight and get the title shot at welterweight. But just because I felt it was a more suited weight class for me. But, things have worked out well for me at middleweight, and I've stayed focused here at this weight class, and it paid off. And, I didn't expect anything less of myself. This is something that I've worked towards for a long, long time. This did not come by a surprise. And so I'm just grateful for the opportunity, and I'm going to have fun doing it.
And it was definitely not an easy route because you fought tough opponents like Jacare to Chris Weidman, former champion. But where do you think that Robert Whittaker, stacks amongst guys that you fought and beaten?
He's going to be the number one guy. He's the guy that has the belt. He's the guy right now. He's the guy that beat who many people thought was going to be the guy, Yoel Romero. He beat him twice. So I feel like, you got to beat the man to be the man. And, Rob is the man right now. You know what I mean? And I got to beat him to be the man.
Now, what do you think of his fighting style? He's very well-rounded, great striker, good wrestling. What do you think?
I feel like Rob is tough. He's got a great set of skills, but it's nothing I haven't seen before. I don't think he brings anything to the table that's going to be surprising, anything that I haven't seen before. I train with one of the best teams in the world at Kings, and I train with the best strikers in the world, the best kickboxers, the best wrestlers, the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world, and so anything he brings, I've seen it all. And so I feel like I'm more than prepared for this opportunity. I'm more than prepared to win this belt, and I feel like my time is now.
Now, what weakness do you see that he has that you plan on exploiting?
I just feel like I'm able to box. If he wants to box, then we can box. I feel like I'm going to be a little bit more technical and more sharper than he will be. If he wants to wrestle, I feel like my wrestling is a little bit better than his. A lot of people forget I was a wrestler, and that's how I started in this career. And I wrestled for more than 10 years. I was one of the top wrestlers in the country for a while, and so I got that in my back pocket, even though I like to box. So
yeah, no, you are again very well-rounded as well. Now, he did tell media that he thinks you may be slightly underestimating him. Do you agree?
He might be right. I don't think he's anything special.
And so with that being said, him coming off the back-to-back wins over Yoel Romero, decision and split decision, did you score the fight that way?
You know what? To be honest, I thought Yoel had fought and won the second fight, but selfishly, I wanted Rob to win so that I can have the biggest opportunity to get the next title shot. I felt like if Yoel would have won, they would have done the third fight, just because he didn't make weight. And they would have done the third fight, and that would have extended my chances of fighting for the title. So I was glad Rob won.
But do you think that Yoel would have been a tougher challenge than Rob?
No, to be honest, Yoel is a great fighter, but he, just like everybody, he's got weaknesses. I've got weaknesses. Rob's got weaknesses, and I was, more than ready to exploit those weaknesses.
And lastly, before your fight in January, someone that you're close to, Henry Cejudo, he is fighting TJ Dillashaw. How do you see that fight playing out?
I call him El Niño de Oro, the golden boy. Olympic gold medalist, UFC champion. Henry is a very good friend of mine, and I'm very happy for all the success that he's been having, and I'm very excited for his fight that he's got coming up.
How do you see that playing out? Any early predictions?
You know what? Henry's a bad mofo. Henry's a bad mofo. He's one of the nicest dudes ever, but fighting, wrestling, whatever, anything fighting, he's the best at it, and I feel like he's going to do really good.